So are you guys gonna have multiple wives or just one wife?
That's actually a question I wanted to hear. Yeah, Myron, and you were talking about you think you should date multiple girls.
Yeah, you have to.
Why? As a man, like I get it. Like I'm in a relationship. Like there's always temptation. Like it's tough to think dating one. I get that as a man, but you don't think eventually you just want that one girl that you have that thing with.
Okay, the reason why, and there's a psychological reason for why you have to have multiple women, but if I'm going to simplify it, and ladies, you don't get offended by what I'm going to say, but what I'm saying is based in biology and how women operate. Women are very selfish, and what I mean by that is they're always looking for the bigger, better deal. They're looking for the best guy that they can get with their beauty. And the only way that you can really ensure that the woman feels like she's getting the best deal is she needs to know that you're valued by other women. And the best and most honest way to display that is by having other women in play, because it keeps women on their toes and it keeps them competitive, and it lets them understand that their place isn't necessarily secure. Once a woman feels secure with you and she feels like, oh, this guy's not going to go anywhere, that's when disrespect begins. That's when she starts to wonder, hey, do I really have the best guy here? He's kind of letting me run around him and whatever. But when you have other women in place, she understands that her position isn't secure and she's going to behave and act the best way that she can. And you have to do that to deal with female psychology, where they always want the bigger, better deal.
I have a question also, because I feel like the women that...
Really?
You disagree with that? Go ahead.
I don't know. Maybe it depends on man to man, different men. I do agree with you that other girls, when they come up to you, they validate you. Because I've been out, and like girls will come up, what up, and then like the hottest girl in the room wants to talk to you. Then I get that. I get, other girls validate you, but I don't think you need to have all of that to keep a one girl, one loyal girl. I think if you're the guy, you're a confident guy, you are. I think you're going to be fine.
But social proof is very important.
It works. It works. I'm not saying it doesn't work. It does work.
Yeah.
What you're saying is true, but I think to have a real, genuine relationship, do you really want to be talking to all these other girls and setting the tone for your relationship? And who knows? Then she's probably talking to other dudes too. What if you just come in there and set the tone? That's not how it's going to be. It's going to be you and me, and that's that. No,
because the reason why she won't talk to other guys is because when a girl's chasing your validation and she knows that she's competing with other girls, she won't have time to talk to other guys.
That's true, but that's one way of going about it. You don't think that's unhealthy?
No, not at all.
Okay, I mean, because I'm not saying it's wrong or I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, but I just have the girls
I understand
become
where
friends.
you're coming from.
I have the girls become friends too. I introduce them to each other because
that is crazy.
If
holy fuck.
Yeah, because and it works because what ends up happening is I vet the girl for a period of time, and then I introduce her to another girl I'm dealing with. Well, they have similar ideals because I'm dealing with them. They're both not hoes. They both have some type of moral value, etc., and they end up becoming friends.
Do you think long term that's going to work out? Or do you think you're gonna go find a whole new pair of girls after that crashes?
The thing is it always going to last forever? No, nothing ever lasts forever. But the point is that it's a system that works, and it keeps girls on their toes. It keeps girls loyal to you. It keeps girls submissive. It lets them understand that their place isn't necessarily secured, and that's when people tend to work the best. If you have a company, right, and you have a sales company, right, and you have a bunch of salesmen working for you, and it's a competitive nature where everyone is competing, well, they know that their place isn't necessarily secure and they perform the best. But whenever people know that they're tenured and they can't be fired, that's when they behave poorly. This is why women a lot of times after they get married, they stop giving their husband sex, they gain weight, they get fat, they get loud, bitchy, crass. The only way that you as a man, you have to maintain the leverage with women. Because when the woman has a leverage, she's going to punish you for it. If you maintain a leverage, you can at least control and dictate how things go, because men tend to love idealistically versus women love opportunistically. So you need to be the best opportunity for her.
I understand what you're saying. And maybe it's situational, maybe it's different opinions, but it's kind of, what this reminds me of? It kind of reminds me, I don't know if you ever watched the podcast that Dan Bilzerian did with Full Send, but he talked a lot about this. And he said eventually, he realized it was horrible for his mind and didn't work out, and he regretted it all, and I just wonder if you're ultimately...
Well, no, we spoke with Dan about this very topic, and he's big on, he understands that, social proof is everything.
Too. I think it's true. I think it's 100% true. I've seen it happen so many time after time. I just feel like, damn, it sucks that you can't be happy with just you and that one girl.
Nah, man, because men aren't monogamous by nature. Like you're always going to want to have other girls. You'll eventually get bored of your chick. I mean, some guys can do it, but in general, most guys typically want more than one girl. Normally. Now, is there some guys that I'm cool with one girl? For sure. Yeah. But most men, if given the option, would you rather have one girl or two girls? They're always going to go with two girls if there was no consequence. Most guys are monogamous because they have to be. The girl will leave them. They'll have an earful. That's why they cheat in secret. But I'd rather just be honest about it. Like, hey, I'm going to have multiple girls. You'll never be the only one. It's just not how it goes.
I feel that. I think, I respect whatever. If that's what works, that's good for...
I've noticed it's the best for keeping girls attracted to you, keeping them in line, keeping them submissive, keeping them in their feminine. And competition is very healthy. And most girls go through life without thinking that there's a competition, if I'm going to be honest. Because we kiss girls' asses and tell them that they're princesses when in reality they're really not. Most girls are very similar and fairly useless, if I'm going to be honest.
I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. I just couldn't do that. I just couldn't do it.
It is work. I ain't gonna lie. It is work.
Yeah.
Because you have to maintain frame with multiple women, and you got to obviously be focusing and keeping yourself up and stuff like that.
Yeah, you got a day job right there, man. That's a lot. But no, I get it. I think it does work. I think what you're saying, the logic of it works. For me, I just couldn't.
Yeah, it's not easy. I ain't gonna lie. It's not easy, but
I think once you as a man make that choice for yourself, then you're good to go. But again, what's easier, what's harder is up to you.
Yeah, it's up to you. Really, I think it's up to you. That's true.
All right, what are your ladies' thoughts on this? Agree, disagree?
Misogyny.
I think that if you're talking to multiple people, you're single, but unless you're in a polyamorous relationship.
Polygamous relationship, you mean?
Yeah. So technically, they're just your hoes. They're not all your girlfriend.
Well, there's different levels. There's the main girl, then you got side girls, then you got hoes, yes.
So how does the girl become the main girl? Or do you meet her and she's already the main girl? And you have your sides already there?
No. Main girl has to go through a vetting process.
So how does she get there?
I typically 6 months to 1 year of vetting. I do a background check, make sure that she's not a slut.
Yep. Hoe facts.
Get the hoe facts. Mm-hmm. See how much value she adds. Is she a good girl? Is she a pain in the ass? Is she not? Is she obnoxious? Is she loud? Whatever it may be. There's certain things that I'll disqualify her on, and if she meets the requirements, I'll elevate her to a main girl.
And
it's like working at a company. You know what I mean? Like if you want to get promoted to a certain position, you have to have those job qualities and those job requirements in place for me to elevate you.
Right. So is your future goal to have one superior?
No, I would have a couple. You need at least 2 to 3.
Or 4.
Or 4.
But like you said, at the end of the day, that works for y'all. It doesn't work for him. So it's like, it's a case-to-case basis.
It's case-to-case basis, that's fine.
I mean, but I do agree with you. The vast majority of men do prefer the lifestyle that you are explaining, but not everyone. And I feel like that's the same for women. It can go both ways.
I'm not saying there's not temptation or...
No, women just want one guy.
That they love and care about.
Yeah, girls are not naturally, polygamous like we are. Like anytime I've seen a girl and she has like multiple dudes she's talking to, each of those guys is missing something critical. Maybe one guy has money, but he's really boring and annoying. Maybe one guy is extremely charming and charismatic, but he's broke all the time. Maybe another guy is really funny, but he's ugly. So anytime I see a girl dating multiple guys or dealing with multiple men, those men all have something that she likes, and she has to compartmentalize them in a degree. But preferably, most girls would want one guy that has all of those traits in one, so she can sleep with and get the emotional stimulation from one guy.
Yeah.
But men don't operate that way. A girl can give me everything and fulfill me as a girlfriend. I'm still gonna want to fuck other bitches. That's why a girl that's promiscuous is completely like, you don't respect that, because we know deep down that women want one partner.
And if you think about it, he's being honest up front. Hey, this is me. He's not going behind your back, cheating on you. So you know what? This is who I am as a man. Take it or leave it.
And I respect it. That's why I'm single.
So how do you find a girl that has all of those traits without feeding her like a fantasy? Because I look at it like this. Girls who truly respect themselves and, they're virgin and all of that, they're not going to even want to talk or look at a guy who's out being with multiple women, who's in front of their face like, I'm going to talk to other girls. You're going to sit and do what I say. And if you stay here longer, I'm going to marry you. So just deal with it. And those girls' parents won't even allow her to have a conversation with like men like that.
You're incorrect. And the reason why you're incorrect is because women have different attraction requirements than men do. A guy that's out there and dealing with women has experience is attractive.
I feel like you're talking more on like different forms of relationships and almost more like religion than you are a monogamous relationship.
I'm talking biology. Women value experience.
True.
Men value inexperience.
So you think that a family with a good little innocent girl is just gonna hand her off to a man that's like, I'm gonna fuck bitches, stay home, and do what I say.
If you're successful enough and you have the status, they will. They will overlook that shit.
But are you gonna marry them first?
Well, I mean, that might be a requirement for her family to give her over, but like, regardless, if you have enough money and status, a lot of people are gonna just shut the hell up and accept it.
Well, where are the guys finding the guys with money and status? Where are they going to find girls?
That's a good question. They're going abroad a lot of the times, if I'm gonna be honest with you.
Myron, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Would there ever be a situation where you were like, damn, man, fuck all the other bitches, I just want this one?
Nah.
There would never be.
No.
I think one day there's going to be one that you're like, what the fuck just happened?
But here's the thing. Like,
Nope.
I have a main girl, and like she gets certain, situations that other girls don't get, right? And obviously, like, I care about her, but like other girls aren't necessarily going to get that. But men are always going to want to have multiple women from a, sexual perspective. That's just how it is.
I agree with that. And, as a man, like, I'm like, fuck, right? Like, you see hot girls, whatever, you're like, fuck. But
yeah,
I think at the end of the day, man, I think there's going to be a day where you find a girl and you're like, this is the one, this is it. I do have this temptation. I think it's going to happen. And
I think it is too.
You can text me, you can call me.
Nah.
Yeah.
No, and the reason why is because even if I wanted that ideal, it would never work in it sounds good on paper, but it would never work in practice because women don't respect men that can't replace them, unfortunately.